So hello students, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Now today we'll see a representation of binary trees. So in our previous video we have seen some definitions and some terms of binary trees. Now we will see how a binary tree can be represented in the computer's memory. Okay, so a binary tree can be represented in memory using two ways, like stack, like queue. A tree also can be represented in two ways. So one is array representation, so we can represent a binary tree using an array, and the second method is linked representation, means we can represent a binary tree using a linked list also. Okay, so first we shall discuss about array representation. So how a binary tree could be represented using an array. Okay, now in this method we have to define, or we have to create an array of a fixed size. So to represent a binary tree, we need an array of maximum size max. Let us say max is the maximum size of the array. Okay, so let t be the name of that array, be the name of the array. Okay, now problem is, what should be the size of max? So when you create an array to represent a tree, each array element should represent or should store the data of a particular node, because we know a tree is a collection of nodes. So now if height of the tree is expected to be h, so if we are interested to create a tree of height h, then what should be the maximum number of nodes that we can accommodate in that tree? In the properties of a binary tree, I told you that if the height of the tree is expected to be h, then maximum number of nodes that can be inserted in a tree, in a binary tree is 2 to the power h minus 1. Okay, so if we know the height of the tree, then we can say we create an array of a maximum size, and the size of the tree, size of the array should be 2 to the power h minus 1. Okay, so max should be equal to 2 to the power h minus 1. So if the height is 4, if we say we want to create a tree of height 4, then it should be 2 to the power 4 minus 1. 2 to the 4 means 16. 16 minus 1, 15. So the tree can accommodate maximum 15 nodes. Okay, so this is how we will know what should be the size of this array. Okay, now once the array is created, then we can start inserting data value. Okay, each array element t of I, so I is an index. To represent ith element of the array, each array element t of I corresponds to a tree node. Okay, so this is corresponding to a tree node. Clear? Now to find the array which represents a tree must use following rules. So following rules must be implemented. Following rules must be followed when you start inserting a node. So what are the rule? Rule number 1. The root element, the root node must be placed as first element of the array. Okay, so root node represent the first element, that is t of 1. Okay, so whatever value that appears in the first element of the array t1, that value is supposed to be the root node. Clear? Second rule, if the index I, so let's say I is an index to the array t. If the index I corresponds to a node, then every node must have some children if it is not a leaf node, or it must have it must have one parent if it is not a root node. So if suppose we say I is an index of a node, corresponds to a node, then we can find index of its parent, using following formula. So what is the formula? Suppose I is a node, then parent of I is equals to I by 2. So divide I with 2. Okay, and keep the integer part, integer division. So int I by 2 means divide I with 2. If I is an even number, then I by 2 will give you an integer. If I is an odd number, then it may give a floating point data. So its integral part or integer part must be kept, and that will be the parent of I. Okay, I'll give you an example also, don't panic. Number 3. Third rule says that if the index I corresponds to a node, then the index of its left child and right child can be computed as follows. Left child of I is equals to I into 2. Right child of I equals to I into 2 plus 1, or you can call it 2i plus 1. Okay, so this is equals to 2i and this is 2i plus 1. So if you know, see that it indicates that if when we represent a tree using an array, if we know index of a particular node, then we can compute the index of its parent node, as well as we can compute the index of its left child as well as right child using this formula. Okay, now let me give you an example. Now suppose we have a tree of height 4. So this is our first node, root node. Data in the root node is 15. Then the root node must have at most 2 children, because by the property of binary tree, every node must have degree at most 2. So let us assume it has 2 children already. One is 7, another children is, let's say, 10. So this is level 2. Then 15, let's say 16. Its right child is, let's say, 6. Let us assume 10 doesn't have any left child, but it has a right child. Okay, it is not necessary to fill all the nodes. Its left child may be empty, but it has a right child, and right child is, let's say, 19. Okay, now suppose 16 is my leaf node, but 6, it has a left child, let's say 14, and there is a right child, let's say 17, and 19 has a left child, and that is 13. So this is what a tree. This is how I want to insert data in my tree. See what is the height of the tree? This is level 0, this is level 1, this is level 2, and this one is level 3. So when the maximum level number is 3, so definitely height of a tree should be level max plus 1, so that is 4. So maximum level number is 3, so 3 plus 1, 4. So the height is 4, because we know that height of a tree is the number of nodes present in the longest path from root to the leaf. So here, what is the longest path from a root node to leaf node? See, there are 4 leaf nodes. 16 is a leaf node, 14, 17, 13. These are 4 leaf nodes. Okay, so from root to leaf, how many? Is this the longest path? No. 1, 2, 3. But the longest path is this one. Either we can say 15, 7, 6, 14. This could be a longest path, or 15, 7, 6, 17. It could be also be a longest path, or 15, 10, 19, 30. So these are the 3 longest path whose length is equal. So how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 in this path. Just take a single path. Okay. Here, then here. In this path, there are 4 nodes, so we say height is 4. Now, if the height is 4, what is the maximum number of nodes that can be placed in this tree? So, when height is 4, the maximum number of nodes that we can insert here is 2 to the power 4 minus 1 equal to 15. This is the maximum number of nodes. Okay, but right now in my tree, there are not 50 nodes, but I can still add some more nodes. So we have to create an array, because I want to represent this tree using an array in the memory. So we have to create an array. So let's say this is our array, and the size of the array should not be more than 15. Okay, or should not be less than 15. So there must be 15 different cells. This is first cell, cell number, its index is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5 more cells are required. Eleven, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, clear, guys? Now, as I told you, the root data, the data of root node must present as the first element of my array. So here in this tree, the data of the root node is 15. So when it is stored in a memory, and while my memory has an array, the 15 should be stored at 1. Okay. Now, from this index number, I can find out who is parent and who is the left child as well as right child. So I will say who is parent of 1. See, this one is root, so it doesn't have any parent. So if I apply the formula parent of 1, my formula says, let us divide 1 with 2, I by 2. So this is my formula to know the parent. Parent of I is equals to integral part of I by 2. Divide I by 2 and find what is the integral part. So when I perform 1 by 2, it will give me 0.5. 0.5. And what is the integral part of 0.5? That is 0. So its answer will be 0. So 0 means, now index of parent of 1 is 0. So, but my array starts from 1. So when it is 0, it indicates that 1 is my root. Okay. Now who should be the left child, or where should I store the data which is at the left of 15? See, in the left of 15 we have 7, and in the right child of 15 we have 10. Now these two data should be stored in the array. So as we know, the left child, how do you compute? Suppose, who should be the left child of 1? Left of 1. The formula says left of 1. 1 is an index of a particular node, and its left child index will be 2i. So 2 into 1. See, this is the formula, 2i. And right of 1 must be 2i plus 1. So 2 into 1 plus 1. See, 2i plus 1. So this is 2, and this one will give us 3. So 7 will be stored at index 2, and 10 should be stored at index 3. Okay. Now in the same manner, you can keep continuing the addresses. Okay. So now let us assume who are the children of 7. So let us give a numbering 1, 2, 3. These are the indexes in the array. Now left child of 7 data is 16. So in which index this 16 should be stored in the array? So what is the index value of the data 7 that is stored in the array? Index value is 2. See, 2. So its left child should be computed by this formula, 2i. So 2 into I. So here I means 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. So 16 must be stored in index 4. So let us store 16 here. And what is the index of 6? Which is right child of 7? The index of 7 is 2. So right child should be 2i plus 1. 2i plus 1 means 2. Here I is index of 7. So 2 into 2. 2 into 2 plus 1. Okay. 6 will be stored in 5. Is that clear, guys? Now I'll say this one is 4. The index of, these are index. The number that I will write just above the node is index within the array. Okay. Now similarly come to the data 10, and index of data 10 is 3. So its left child, index of its left child should be 6, but its left child is right now empty. 10 does not have any left child. So in the array, the position 6 must be left vacant, because it will be left vacant because when later I will insert a node at the left, and that data will be stored here. So its left child must be left vacant. But what is its right child? 19. So what should be the index of 19? Index of 10 is 3, and index of 19 should be 2 into 3 plus 1, because the formula is formula for right child is 2i plus 1. Okay. So it should be 7. So 19 should be stored in index 7. Okay. So from this discussion you will realize that any node which is the left child of its parent, then its index should be an even number, and any node which is the right child of its parent, its index should be the odd number. Okay. Now we have 14, 17. So these two data must be stored, because till now we stored 15, 7, 10, 16, 6, 19. So these are the data already stored. Now we need 3 more nodes. So 14 is the left child of 6. And what is the index where the 6 is stored? The index is 5. See, in the 5th index of the array, the data 6 is stored. So its left child is 14. So what should be the index of 14, or index where I will store 14? So the formula is 2i. 2i means I is the node where I stored 6. Its left child should be 2i. So index is 5. So when I apply 2i will be 10. So it will be stored in 10. 14 will be stored in 10. And 17, that will be stored in 2 into 5 plus 1. So 17 will be stored in 11. Okay. Similarly, what is the index position where I will store 13? So who is parent of 13? Parent of 13 is 19. So what is its index? 7. Now 13 should be kept in the left of 19 as per my diagram. So what is the index of 13? First find out index of 19 is 7. So 7 into 2, because index of left child can be computed by 2, multiplying 2 with its index. So 7 into 2 is 14. So the value 13 will be stored at index 14. Okay guys. Now this is how this entire tree is now stored in the memory if the tree is going to be represented using an array. Okay, so this is what known as array representation of a binary tree. Okay, now this array representation has a major drawback. Although the array representation looks very simple, because see, insertion and deletion is very simple. Suppose I will say insert an element to the left of 10. So only thing you need to calculate that index value where I will store. So since find the index of 10 is 3, so its left should be 6, so I can directly store the data in the 6th position. Okay, so the insertion or deletion process is simple, but the major drawback, disadvantage of array. See, if the tree is not full, full binary tree. So I will discuss what is full binary tree later. If the tree is not full binary, see here, the height of the tree is h or 4, and so if the height of the tree is 4, then I can store a maximum of 15 nodes. But in this tree there are less than 15 nodes. How many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 nodes are there. Okay, so we said tree is not full. So if the tree is not a full binary tree, then lot of cells in the array remain vacant. Hence, there is wastage of storage space. So the major drawback of array representation is wastage of storage space. Okay. Now if the tree is contain element in such a way that every node has only exactly one child, except leaf node, all other nodes are exactly one child, then the tree becomes skewed. And in such case, more than 70% of the space will be remain vacant. Okay. Right now, still in this tree, I have some space remain lying vacant. But when, suppose I will create a tree like this. First node, this is the root node. Then it has second node, only one child. Then it has one single child. Then it has one child. Now, what is the height of the tree? The height of the tree is still 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if the height of the tree is 4, then we could store maximum 15 data. So I have to reserve space for 15 cells. But now actually I have stored only 4 nodes right now. So tree is not full, and such type of tree is actually known as skewed binary tree. And when the binary tree is skewed, the wastage is more. The wastage is significantly more. Wastage of memory space will be significantly more, because I have to reserve memory space for 15 cells. But I could only store 4 nodes. So that is a wastage of 11 memory cells. Okay, so I will say the wastage of memory space will be significantly high if tree become a skewed binary tree. Okay, skewed binary tree means each node except the leaf node. So each node has a degree exactly 1 or less than that. So leaf node has degree 0 and all other node has degree exactly 1. Okay, so when the degree is less than 1, less than or equal to 1, we still say it is a binary tree, but it becomes a skewed binary tree. And in such case, height will continuously increase, but every node will have only one element, will have only one child maximum. Okay, so there will be a lot of wastage of memory cells. Okay, so this is why binary tree array representation of a binary tree is not very useful. It will be useful only when the tree is full binary tree. In such case, the storage space will not be wasted, but in all other cases, the storage space will be wasted. Okay, so this is what the array representation of binary tree. In our next video, we will see how to represent a binary tree using a linked list. So till then, thank you.